Guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. So in today's video we are back on my couch because I am doing a book talk on The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I read this book earlier this week and this is my very first 5-star read of the year, and I think one of my favorite book, in a very long time. This book was so good. I wanted to do a dedicated book review on this book because I just loved it so much. I do have a reading vlog which will be up later this week on this book, and I will link it above and in the description box below once that is up if you guys want to see my initial reaction to this book. But this book, if you don't want to know anything about this book, I will just say go pick it up. If you guys like magical realism and just a heartwarming, heartfelt book, this was really good. So this book is about a world that is very similar to ours, but there are some magical creatures in this book. But the magical creatures are very much outcast from the society, where they have to register and they are regulated by these government department, and there are one for the adults and there are one for the kids. And our main character, Linus, works for the department in charge of magical youth. And his job is to go into some orphanages and make sure they are up to par and up to code, and make a recommendation on whether these orphanages can stay open or not. In the past, he has made some recommendation for some to stay open, for others to close. He doesn't really think twice about it. He does care very much about these kids and these magical creatures, but he is someone who follows the rules very strictly. There is this rules and regulation books, which has all of the rules and regulation, and he follows that to a T. And so, like I said, he doesn't really think twice about closing a orphanage if he feels that the kids are not well taken care of. But one day he is summoned by extremely upper management and is given a extremely classified and mysterious case, and he has to go to this orphanage on an island where there are 6 magical creatures that are deemed extremely dangerous, and one of them might be a threat to the whole humanity. If you go on Goodreads, and you will see each kid and what they are, but for me it was a surprise, and I liked getting surprised what were each kid. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about each kid. So Linus goes to this orphanage for a month just to oversee the orphanage and then make his recommendation in the end. And there's also a love story with the director of the orphanage, Arthur. So this book has some really great LGBTQ representation as well, which is always a plus. But yeah, that's basically where the story takes off. I loved all of these magical creatures and all of their relationship and their dynamic between each other, and also with Linus and Arthur as well. I love how Linus had a different relationship with each kid, because they're all different and they're all a different creature, but each relationship was equally as loving and caring than each other, but they were all different, and I loved that aspect. So I do think the best part of this book is definitely all the different characters and how real they felt and how unique they were. I do think the author did a really great job at developing each character, and I think he took a lot of time developing each one of them. I kind of feel like they were each representing maybe a group of people in our society who are outcast. Like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail of each kid and what magical creature they are, but I will tell you we have a gnome in this book, which I feel like maybe represents the people that are oversized in our society. We have a kid that does not speak English in this book, which I think maybe represents immigrants in our society, or people who are deaf and mute, and how we kind of automatically write them off and feel like they're less intelligent as us, even though they're not. It's just that they don't speak the same language as us. So I do think each kid kind of represents maybe a group of people in our society, and I really liked that aspect. This whole book is kind of a deeper discussion on our society and how we have some preconception and misconception maybe on some group of people in our society, and the difference between a safe place and assimilation, and like separating these type of people and which is best and which you should do and not. So I really enjoyed that. It also has a reflection on the corporate world, I think, which I really enjoyed as well. So this whole book is a metaphor for our world, which I really enjoyed. I really liked the love story in this book as well. It was really well done. It was not an Insta love story. It was really well developed, and I really liked the chemistry between Arthur and Linus and how their love story developed. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really well done. I will say maybe one thing that people would not like about this book is that there's pretty much no world building in this book. This is a very character driven story. Like I said, I do think the author took a really long time developing each character, but the world building is kind of lacking in this book. If you are someone who is very plot driven, this book is not going to be for you. This is not a book with a big journey with it. It has a journey, but it's a self-discovering journey. It's not this big adventure or this big campaign that they embark in. So if you guys are looking for a big high fantasy book with a long heist or a big adventure, this book is not for you. This was not a con for me, but I do think it's worth mentioning because it could be something that you guys do not enjoy. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this book. I really like this book. I hope you guys picked this up after I talked about this book. Yeah, this book was so good. Like I said, 5-star for me. I thought this book was really well done, and I want to read more TJ Klune books now. If you have read this book, leave your recommendation in the comments down below for some other books that might be similar to this book, because I really want to know, because I don't think there's too many books, or I don't know too many books that are similar to this book, and I would really want to read them. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.